Need something to get into. Pretty girl on deck. She just wanna have fun too. To the Love Movement Podcast on IntellectualRadio.com.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. We really appreciate you. Got a little battle and a little cold right now, but I got two of my co-hosts, the hottest goddess and the money-minded Toya Capri, and this is going to be a very special night for us because we got Olivia Cameron here, and our first high school special guest, and it's just gonna be fun because she's doing something different, and we want all the all the viewers to understand that you don't just have to shoot a basketball, you don't have to do all this other stuff in order to get to college and enjoy your life. So without further ado, we have want to thank our sponsors. The People's Party, congratulations to all the people that won. Katrina Thompson, she was one of our sponsors. We appreciate you. Harvey and Booker, and man, bless all the winners and all the losers. Come back and fight again. So
I got a nickname for them. I'm calling them 3-piece spicy.
3-piece
spicy. Yeah,
that's what it is.
Yeah,
so 3-piece spicy. I guess that'll work.
Yeah.
Why you want to call them 3-piece spicy?
Because they make a great trio.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they are spicy.
And they
exactly.
They are spicy.
There you go.
They defend themselves.
Exactly.
So we want to thank them and congratulations to them. And like I said, everybody that lost, come back and fight another day. And then we want to have thank Kelly Tax Services. She's doing something very special for everybody. And taxes coming up the 15th. They're gonna be closing on the 15th of April. But give her a call. She's a specialist at this, and she does a lot. And she does bilingual. She Spanish and all of that. So 708-408.
She does.
8760, 708-408-8760. So give her a call. Then we got my man Johnny Vaughn Transportation. He'll take you to church. He'll take you grocery shopping. You go to the casino. He'll take you to family outings. He'll do everything that you request for him to do. So you got to give him a call also at 708-834-4025, 708-834-4025. And we also want to thank the Blue Note. You can get them guys a call. They have all kind of activities for the public. Viola Shy, which is Village Shy, and then Shannon will be coming in on the 12th of April to dedicate the building to the village. So it's going to be a very interesting month. And then we got Stacy's Cafe. Man, I was over there the other day and had
Here you go.
The fish, yeah.
We over there every day.
Not every day. I can't eat every day, but they were good. And then we got The View. I was over there. They had what's the name of that movie with the Wayne brothers in it? Menace to Society. Yeah. I can't think of the name.
Don't be a menace.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I forgot the whole thing.
So
don't be a menace while drinking your juice in the
hood. All of that. You
right.
know what I'm saying? So they've been doing movies on Mondays and comedy after the movie. And then on Tuesdays, they have Taco Tuesdays. Wednesday, they have a live band. Sometimes on Thursdays, they do happy hour with the drinks and the food. They have happy hour. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty nice. I was at Ted's birthday party at the Rhythm and Blues the other day, Ted Edmonds. So we had a good time over there. But now let's get down to some crazy stuff. The Final Four. You said you don't watch basketball.
Nah, I ain't watching basketball.
You don't watch basketball.
She got enough on her plate she's trying to worry about.
So, Toya, for the ladies' Final Four, who you got?
I have not been in tune with the Final Four.
Oh,
No
Chris.
Final
So
Four.
help me
Bad.
know where we at. Because
Well,
you gonna be the compass for us.
South Carolina won last year
Okay.
with Coach Staley,
Yeah.
Don Staley, and they won. And I'm pulling for them again.
Okay.
So you got UCLA and two other teams. I can't think of the teams, but
USC.
what about the men's Final Four? What you think?
You looking at me? I
Duke.
definitely don't know.
Duke is in it, and Houston is in it, and who else is in it? The number one team for most of the year, Auburn
Okay.
and Florida,
Mm-hmm.
and they're playing some pretty good basketball. And this is one of the few times that 4 number one seeds made it to the Final Four.
Oh,
Once
cool.
a few times.
Well, Duke is known for their history in basketball, so maybe they'll bring it home again.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
we'll see what's happening. Well, today too, our special guest, she's something special. She's doing something different. Olivia, you are to me, a trailblazer because a lot of people are not doing what you're doing, and I'm gonna let you explain that in a few minutes. But we want to thank also Ronnie Smith for last week telling us about her program going Walking in My Shoes. So it's very different. But let's clear up some politics stuff. When it comes to politics, when do the opponents cross the line? That was one of the questions I had for you, Lady Z. When do the opponents cross the line?
Well, I mean, it's it's a competition. So at the end of the day, it's really all gloves are off. I mean, the only thing I would say is when you creating division amongst the community. A lot of people were. It was ugly this time around. I feel like it was ugly, but it could have been like that a couple years ago, and I just never really paid attention. I think more so this time because the people that were running were people that were very active in the community. So those were familiar faces. So it was good to see them, but at the same time, like I said, I wasn't following it the years prior to see if it ever got as nasty as it did this year. But I mean, it is what it is. It's like I said, all gloves is off.
Yeah. What you think, Toya?
I think there's a line. I think there's a line. But I also know that in some cases, some of the candidates, what I felt they were doing were defending themselves. Because I think the dangerous part of it when you have free speech is that you are allowed to say whatever you feel, and you have avenues for doing so, whether it be social media, whether it be whatever avenue you choose. And that's dangerous because you could be assassinating somebody's character. And I feel like from that aspect, people have the right to defend themselves. Because once something is out there, whether it has truth or not, like we rely on people oftentimes to clear it up, And if something is out there and you can't give either context to it, or you can't tell the version of it that actually is true versus a manipulated perception of things, that can be really dangerous. And when somebody's character is on the line, I feel like they have a right to defend that.
Right.
Well, how can you go against somebody else's truth? That's what they believe. They believe that what they're saying is accurate.
But
Maybe some information that they received, like you say, I mean, it may not be totally true, but it's some truth in it.
Yeah, and I believe there's a responsibility in how you communicate it. So to me, if it's your truth and it doesn't have facts, it's hearsay, or is something that you believe and there's no factual evidence that this has occurred, then it's irresponsible to say certain things that don't have merit to them. Because you would say somebody's character is behind that.
Right. Now, Olivia, you being in high school, how much do your friends, how much do you talk about politics? What do you guys discuss as it relates from the president all the way down to the local person?
My friends and I don't really talk about politics.
Okay.
I talk about it in my household, but not necessarily between my friends.
So
That's
what
the
what
best
is
way.
what is your views on the things that's happening maybe in Westchester, in your community and stuff like that?
I don't read too much into politics. My current boss was running for proviso trustee, so I was kind of into that a little bit. But other than that, I haven't been into these politics.
So when you guys are in the lunchroom and you snacking and eating and stuff, you don't
Ain't
mention
nobody. They talking
Trump.
about
We don't-
politics in the high school. That's what they talking about.
we don't even talk at my lunch table. We
They
watch
eating.
TikTok.
They
on
grubbing,
their
and they on their
Yeah,
phone.
they on their phone.
I'm trying to learn
That's the
because
new age.
it's
lunchroom
very
now.
important that you understand what these tariffs are all about
Yeah.
and a lot of the things because they're going to affect you down the line.
Right.
And if we don't, if we don't pay attention to what's going on, are you a voter?
Yeah.
There you go. So make your vote make sense. That's what we said, and you got to understand how they doing it. But I mean, when I was in high school, we didn't talk politics. We didn't care at that point. But we did have an organization called the Young Democrats on the west side of Chicago, and that's what kept us in. But when we was in school, we didn't have our phones. We was talking about gambling, playing cards, and stuff like that. So that's some of the things that we have. But listen, we glad to have you. You are something special. Why don't you tell the people a little bit about yourself and let them know who you are?
I'm a bowler at Fenwick High School. I've been to state 3 years in a row, and that's pretty much all I got about me. That's hot. I don't know. That's the
That's
hot.
hot.
Everything hot about you. But where did you grow up at?
I grew up in Westchester. I still live in Westchester, and I go to school in Oak Park.
And you went to what grammar school?
I went to
West-
Westchester Middle School.
Westchester Middle School.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you like Westchester?
Yeah.
Okay. So now, what made you went to Westchester? You get out of Westchester, you go to Fenwick. Why did you choose bowling out of all the other sports that people play?
I didn't necessarily choose bowling. Bowling more so chose me. I started bowling in middle school for fun, and then I started training. And once I realized I had a gift, I just kind of did it more. Yeah, like
Like you're gonna stay with it. What made you think you had a gift? What happened?
many people telling me.
Right.
Yeah, when people are in your ear and they like, "Oh, you good at this," then it makes you, feel like, all right, maybe I do have something going on. So
Right.
I continue.
You continue. Now tell us about your journey. Downstate 3 years in a row. What was your journey the first year, second year, and third year? How did that work?
Well, my freshman year, I made it to sectionals. Basically, you got regionals, sectionals, and then state. I made it to sectionals, and then I fell short. So the next year, I made a goal of making it to state. I made it to state, but state is 2 days. So you bowl on Friday and you bowl on Saturday. Friday, the top 30 get cut, and you done. And then those top 30 bowl on Saturday. So the second year, I did not advance to Saturday. And then this year, hold on. That was that first year I went to state. I didn't advance. And then my second year advancing to state, my goal was to advance to the second day. And then this year, I made a goal of placing within a top, rank. I didn't necessarily hit that goal, but making it downstate 3 times was big enough for me. So
Oh wow, that's beautiful. That's awesome. I got to clap for you for that
Absolutely.
because a lot of kids don't realize that there's money in bowling now in high school.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a thing that we were doing back in my day. It wasn't no bowling teams and stuff like that. It was the regular sports that we had. But now you're a trailblazer. You're turning the game around. How does your peers, your high school friends, how do they accept your position as a bowler in their school, in you all school?
I say my peers think it's cool. A lot of them join because of me, and then the ones that haven't joined, they're either too tuned into their other sports or excelling in those sports, so they can't necessarily join bowling. But I get a lot of congratulations throughout, or I've gotten a lot of congratulations throughout my bowling career, so
Now,
they think it's cool.
okay, where are you at right now in your senior year Are you guys still bowling for the state title? Or?
No, state was in February.
Okay.
So season is over. I'm done with high school bowling.
Okay,
it's over.
okay. Now, when you first started bowling, and they told you was good, and then I see your parents got you a trainer.
Right.
And how does that work with a trainer? What does he or she teach you?
We just do like drills, just like any other sport. It's just bowling, so it's a little different, but we have drills. For bowling, I mean, I go to the line, throw the ball. He see issues, then he'll show me in the video, tell me whatever the problem is, how to fix it, and then you practice. And
So,
how it works.
what's your weight? What weight ball you use?
My ball 15 pounds.
15 pounds.
Yeah.
You not 15 pounds yourself.
I always wanted to know, how do you choose the right bowling ball?
Well,
Like, are you going for heavy? Are you going for light?
for me, when I started, I had people to guide me. So like the people in the pro shop or coaches and league and stuff like that, and they would tell me what weight they thought I needed. But now, like when I see people bowl, I pretty much tell them they need a heavier ball. A lot of people think you go for the lighter ball. They're like, "Oh, I could just throw it down there." No, you want the heavier
I was
ball
gonna say, so you
to
can knock them
keep
pins
you
down.
balanced
Oh,
as
that too.
well. You get a light ball, you just throwing it. You get a heavier ball, you can actually roll it. That's the whole point of bowling.
Control it
You
more, maybe.
exactly. So, yeah, I think a heavier ball is better.
But see, I can't pick by the size of the ball because my hands are so big. They got my thumb got to
Yeah.
fit.
Well,
You
yeah,
need a
It
custom
got to
ball.
fit into that ball.
yeah.
So they have very few of those balls at the bowling
Yeah.
alleys. So I have to look around, walk up and down the lanes, and find that ball.
That's true. They should do something better for that, because I have noticed a lot of men can never find bowling balls.
Yeah,
really.
it's tough. Yeah, but most men that bowl, they got custom balls,
Balls. Yeah.
and that's very, very.
I'm talking about date night.
Date night,
Yeah.
late night, date
Late
night.
night, date night,
Well,
whatever.
tell him to look at every ball, so he can find. And some guys don't even put their thumbs in the balls; they just roll the ball.
Right.
Yeah,
Oh,
I've
You know,
seen
Lord.
that.
have you seen that before?
Yeah.
And it's just very
Strong
fun.
arm in the ball.
So when you're bowling, how are you scouted? Tell me how you were scouted by the different schools and how many schools scouted you.
I say the easiest way to get scouted is by reaching out. You have to put yourself out there. You have to market yourself. So for me, my mom got some videos of me bowling. We figured out what schools I was looking at or I was interested in, and then we just emailed. We sent them some emails like, "Hey, I bowl. Check me out, whatever." Then they reached back. And then I also did something called Recruit US. It's Recruit. I don't know if it's really Recruit Us or Recruit US, but they have different areas within the United States that they go, and they have many different colleges or universities come, and pretty much we showcase our talents. We just bowl. It's like showcases how every other sport has, and then the coaches will look and see like, okay, I think I like her or whatever. And I also had a bowling resume, so it would be a picture of me bowling, and then all of my accolades or things that I've accomplished on there, and we would just hand it out to them. And then they had my contact info, and from there, they pretty much just reached out, and my email was flooded.
That's what's up. Now, was it a general email? Not email, but a resume? Is it something that you and your mother generated together? Or did
Yeah.
you guys Google to see?
No, yeah, we
exactly
just
what
made it up together. So it
Okay.
just goes from my freshman year to my senior year. Well, let me see. I started being recruited around my sophomore year, I want to say. So from that point, I think it began maybe my 8th grade year, 7th or 8th grade, somewhere around there. And then it went up to whatever year I was currently in
Okay.
and all of the things I've accomplished. And then we just keep building every year.
So you don't necessarily have to have a professional photographer. It could be a home
No,
video.
yeah.
Just a random. Okay.
You just need all angles. One from the front, side, back, so they can see everything. And then
Okay, you need a support team then.
Yeah. See, and when my
That's good
boys
to
being
know.
recruited, they would send it's basically a uniform letter asking the same questions. So we just did one on our own and we sent it back.
Mhm.
So we didn't have to fill out the paperwork or whatever the case might be. Now in bowling, is that the same thing? Do they send you a profile letter and you have to fill it out and send it back, or do you just do what you and your mom do?
No, I think some maybe send out a profile letter, but I personally haven't received any or had to fill anything out. My mom just reached out and then people
Okay,
responded.
so now you reached out, and all of these people are calling you. They're coming to see you. They're requesting your profile and all of that. So, what made you choose Morgan State? That's out of all the schools that you had, and Morgan State gave you a full scholarship. What made you choose Morgan State?
I chose Morgan State because it was between Morgan State and Alabama State.
Ooh.
Those were my two top choices. And I visited Alabama first, and then I visited Morgan second. Number one, my grandma's originally from Maryland, and a lot of our family lives in Maryland. So it's kind of a home away from home for me. And Alabama's far. It's away from everybody. I
Right.
wasn't a fan of the state. The school was cool. The people were cool, but I didn't necessarily like Alabama itself. It's pretty dry. I'm more of a city girl. I didn't really like that.
Yeah.
And Morgan's in Baltimore, so that's a city. And then aside from that, bowling wise, I prayed on it. I asked God, because both of the coaches, they're good people. I asked God, I'm like, where should I go? I'm between the both of them. I need a sign. And so the sign I asked for was something specific to the school colors to be either directly handed to me or placed in my face. And so one day I went to school and there was a blue and orange water bottle sitting in front of me. But this is the same spot I sit every single day, like nothing weird about it. It just happened to be there. And it was one of my friends. So I was like, hey, you left your water bottle. And I was texting my mom, and she was like, let the Morgan coach know you're signing. And I'm like, why did she say that? I hadn't told her, yeah, that's where I want to go or anything. I'm like, why did she say that? And I thought a little bit, and I was like, the water bottle. And so then I texted her, and I was like, hey, I prayed about a sign or whatever. I'd never seen anything black and yellow, but I saw something orange and blue, and so I took that, and
That's
that's
what's
what
up. I got
Oh,
a feeling
wow.
Mama got
That's-
that water bottle.
That's a
up
great
there.
great inspiration. Yeah, I know a preacher
That's
said
something I would have did.
he. I said, how did you know you was going to be a preacher? He said, you found 3 dimes. He said it was 3 dimes outside. I said, you just got 30 cents.
That's what I would've done.
They had nothing to do with you trying to preach, man. So anyway, but that's a beautiful story
Yes, it
because
is.
we never know what God has in store for us. And
Mhm.
sometimes God wants us to do things for ourselves that he don't have to do.
Right.
And you made that choice to pick the orange and blue.
Yeah.
And I looked on the thing, it said signed
Yeah.
on your thing. And
Yeah.
I thought that was cool because Shannon Sterling did the same thing. He had several different offers, but when he went to SMU, that was in Dallas, and all my family lives in Texas, and he had a thought, I guess, a revelation, because I thought he was going to visit more schools, but when he went there, he just said, "Hey, where do I sign?" Because he knew all his family was there, so he
Yeah.
had home
Yeah.
away from home,
Mhm.
second thing. So that's some good stuff. But listen, we're glad that you're here. We're glad to have you. Tell the young kids, give them some advice that you would, that you want to share so they can look at the different avenues. If they want to play basketball, if they want to play, what would you tell them about bowling that's so special?
Wait, am I giving advice or tell them about bowling? Which
You giving advice to maybe get them interested in bowling, because bowling give out scholarships
yeah,
just like basketball.
everything else,
Yeah.
right?
So, but a lot of people didn't know that. I didn't know that
Right.
till Darian was here.
Yeah.
And then that's when I found out down there that she was getting a scholarship.
Yeah, for bowling.
Mhm.
I would say there's a ton of money in bowling. There's tournaments every weekend somewhere. There's tournaments all over. People bowl all over the United States, and it's pretty much untouched money, I'd call it. There's a lot of people that don't know that you could get money from bowling. If you place in tournaments, that's money. You place, like I placed in the top 100 in a, what's it called? Oh, I can't think of it.
That's okay.
It's a tournament, but it's national. There we go. I placed in the top 100 in the national tournament, and I got $300. Like,
Okay.
and it goes in a fund for bowling. They have something called a smart fund. They put all of your winning money in that fund until you go away to school, and then you can request it for school though. So like if you have $4,000 in your smart fund, let's say you get a bowling scholarship, but they can't cover all of it, but all you
Right.
need left is 4,000. That bowling money, that's the rest of your money right there.
Okay.
That's things people don't realize. Aside from just getting a scholarship, I also have extra money stored just from bowling
okay.
and placing in tournaments.
Wow.
That's
What size
awesome,
you
man.
say that ball was again?
You see what I
15?
say? I'm telling you, she said she do a 15.
My teammates have 14s and 13s though. It just all depends on you.
Okay.
Right. Now, is your ball custom made?
Yeah.
Of course.
Oh,
Of course, she
said,
might
yeah.
not win no
I,
games.
listen, I love
You
her
know who my
confidence
dad
at the
is?
end of the day. Let me tell you, I
What?
think Chopper probably gave her a lineup and put a little pressure on her. And she was like, "Well, what kind of questions y'all gonna be asking?" And then she was like, "You know what? It don't even matter because I don't have to know the question."
Yeah, well, you got a good dad. I don't know your mom, but
No, shout mom out because we've been talking about
Yeah.
mom. We got to give mom some love too. So shout mom out.
Yeah.
Because we be putting in work, sending
Yeah.
out letters. That's probably new to her. That ain't.
Oh
Is that
yeah, I'm
something
her
that
only
she been
child.
doing? Girl,
Uh,
shout mom out.
I do have a
Ouch.
question. Considering bowling, I think is like a unicorn for a young Black female. How what how did you encourage yourself? Because I know you walked into some situations where you're the only one,
Oh, yeah.
and you had to move past that uncomfortableness and really just hone in on what your skill would be utilized to present. How did you push past those periods of uncomfortableness? Because I'm
I
sure
don't
they
think she get uncomfortable.
I was about to say I'm the
Mm-mm.
type of person that I get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
That's
That's
what's
what I'm talking
up.
about.
That's what's
Hey,
up.
I mean,
Y'all heard
I
what
put
she
my-
said.
Going to the view with us.
She
Chopper.
get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I put myself in a lot of spaces or rooms with people that a lot of people probably wouldn't think that I would be around. So it's kind of normal.
Yeah.
I mean, being in the bowling alley and realizing it, it's like, all right, I don't have anybody to talk to for real,
Right.
but that's okay.
Mhm.
I'm gonna still do what I gotta do, and when we
Right.
get out of here, I'm gonna get some food and call
But
it a day.
But I think young people especially need to hear that, right? If you're trying to do something great, you're going to walk into spaces where you are going to be uncomfortable, and
yeah.
you got to
Yes.
push past that level of discomfort. And sometimes people can be paralyzed by that. So I am so glad to hear you say that, listen, I get real comfortable with being uncomfortable. And that's what
Yes.
that probably is a lot of the fuel that keeps you on top. So
gonna say,
kudos to
yeah.
you. Kudos
Thank
to
That's
you.
you.
what's gonna set you apart.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That
you're gonna
passion,
be
that
great.
confidence.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna be looking forward to watching you on TV, ESPN,
Yeah.
women's bowling tournament, and stuff like that. Is that your goal?
Honestly, not currently. My goal is to be a doctor. I want to be an endocrinologist. Bowling
Ooh.
is my way to get to school, but if bowling makes a way for me to go pro and that falls into my hands, then I'll definitely
There's
do
nothing
that.
wrong. There's nothing wrong with being a doctor, pro bowler.
Yeah, I mean,
you can
there's
be both.
part-time pros, so I'm not against it, but endocrinology is my ultimate goal right now.
All right, just back up
I am-
because now
man.
you speaking big words that endo who?
I knew Chris was gonna be like, what is that?
Endocrinology.
What is that? What kind of
School 'em.
doctor is that, babe?
It's a specialist that deals with primarily diabetic patients, people with liver, kidney, thyroid issues.
Mm.
Okay.
Beauty, brains, and bowling.
Yeah.
Girl, you gonna
We
be
need more,
unstoppable.
and we need more doctors.
Brains,
Too
booty,
many, baby.
Brains,
Not
brains,
booty.
beauty, and bowling.
bowling.
Brains, beauty, and bowling.
That's a
Yes.
triple
Okay.
threat.
triple threat.
Yep.
That right
All
there.
right. So there you go. But God bless you, sweetheart. It was great to have you on the show. You've exposed to us some things that we didn't know because I didn't know bowling was this profitable.
Mhm.
You know,
Right.
I didn't understand how, the kids getting into it. And like she said, you got some lonely days, lonely nights when you the only.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a big difference. And
Mhm.
so you defending your faith.
Mhm.
You ask for something. Show me a sign.
Mhm.
And then that that blue and orange stepped into your place,
Yeah.
and you decided, hey, this is what I want to do. This is what I'm gonna do, and we're happy for you. So thank you very
Thank you.
much for coming on, and tell your friends YouTube. I'm gonna send it to your dad. He gonna send it to you, or you could go on YouTube and look at the Love Movement Podcast.
Okay.
And we'll have fun. So thank you.
This is
We
just the
really,
beginning
really
for us.
appreciate it.
Mhm.
We're gonna bring you back after you win your first tournament in Morgan State.
Okay.
Is that a work?
It
As
works.
soon as you come home this summer, we're
Mhm.
gonna bring you back.
Mhm.
So like we tell everybody else, and you see how she did it, treat people the way you want to be treated and never give up, because this is the love movement. Thank you, ladies. Appreciate you.
Thank you. Good night.
You were tuned into the Love Movement Podcast on IntellectualRadio.com.
Yes.